The next 4 days takes me along the Skye Trail, which is absolutely fantastic. It's like all of the best bits of Scotland in one small island. If you want to cut out Broadford, then it's possible to go a wild route from Kinloch to Boreraig. However, restocking would be a little harder and you'd have to carry a bit more food. I think you could restock at Sligachan campsite. That would be the first place. Talking of the lay of the land, Skye's a little bit weird as far as getting water is concerned. Most of Scotland you can just go to any stream and pick up water. But in day 18, it's a lot of road walking through agricultural land, so that's harder to find streams, pure streams. And then the north part, up over the Trottenish Ridge, it's really hard to find water. It just seems such a strange thing, but there are very, very few streams on that ridge that you can access. So marked on the map are places where you can pick up water. Absolutely beautiful walking from then on up to the tip of Skye, and I can't praise this route enough. It's like mini Scotland all in one. The good bits, the mountain bits, really made up for the more boring road walking.
The cafes weren't open, so it's this morning's food is from the co-op, which is a nice roll, salmon, smoked salmon, and a packet of rocket. I've had one roll, that's 2 rolls. This will be for lunch, and I'll finish off my little coffee. The first day of the Skye Trail. Let's see where we get to. So it's persistent rain in the wind, and I've been walking for about 7 hours, just dripping off me, you can see. Well, it's a different morning this morning. Just show you the view. Worst rain I've been in a tent, more or less ever. We're at point here. Either I could go up here and maybe over this col and find a path down to here, or taking this path down here and round up to there. Yeah. So I found a family who are going up to do the summit. Not exactly the same route as me, but I thought that gave me the psychological push to go this way. The North Summit route goes off up where these people are going up there, and the south goes up the corrie here to the South Summit. Fingers crossed. Bit of scrambling to do. This seems to be the path. And we're going up there. So it should be easy. If this isn't the hardest bit, I may be going back. See if there's any view. A view? Oh my god, yes, there's a view. Off the ridge now and onto a wee path going north. And what a beautiful place. So time to get going, and the path for the Skye trail leaves directly from the campsite, and I'm going along the left hand side here. The rain has stopped, and the coastal path is not a bad path. Right, Portree is a mile and a half away. So this is just down about a mile from Portree, and a very nice wee campsite by a river. I felt fresh today, but I'll have to take it easy, I think. Get a good night's sleep tonight. Should be a lot of wild walking tomorrow. Breakfast. I made porridge with a bit of chocolate, bodybuilder powder. Give me a bit more protein in it. We can see out here, that's where we're going, the Old Man of Store. Up over there, and then we continue along the ridge.
Looking back along the route, you can see the ridge that is followed, and you come straight down to the end of the loch there, and then from there along those lines of trees, and then up this path here. First peak of the day, and the ridge is just laid out beautifully in front of me.
getting on nicely. Path's great. It's you go up 500 feet, then a long straight, then down 500 feet, then a long straight, then up 500 feet again. So can be tiring, but it's just spectacular.
I found a nice campsite next to the loch, and that's quite close to the road, and you follow the road down to this weird bit where you have to go behind a hostel to find the coastal path. I'm always a bit nervous about sea cliff walks, how much exposure there'll be. The path you can see there goes up and along that notch, and you can see here. So it's a wee bit tight, but nothing really to worry about there. And that's about the worst exposure you've got. Anywhere else along the cliffs, you can step away from the edge if you feel like it.
So I've made it to the end of Skye and the lookout, which is beautiful bothy. And now I'm gonna see if I can catch a ferry to Tarbert on Harris.
Because of the ferry timings there once a day, I decided to try and get a lift down the road to Uig, which I managed in a van. The first vehicle that passed me gave me a lift. And then I was off on my way to Tarbert on the Outer Hebrides. Arriving on Harris is great excitement because it's a place rarely visited. I did my shopping in Uig on Skye. When I arrived in Tarbert, I just headed out of the town and up the loch side to find a campsite for the night.
I'm waiting for the kettle to boil. Then it'll be porridge, and I bought some sachets of coffee.
These little packets are great. I couldn't find them for ages, so I was on just tea bags. But the secret with these is not to put them into boiling water. But cheers, a lovely cup of coffee. And it does look nice this morning. We've got the burn here and a wee trail to follow. Almost surreal to have this path going straight across the countryside, across this bog. A little bit of moor to cross, a nice wee post here with the Hebridean Way, and this seems to be the path. So this is a path, and it's the worst for me in these shoes because they don't have any padding. So sharp stones keep turning up and disrupting the soles of my feet. So there was a bit of road walking, and then I did actually find my cafe, the Kinloch Cafe, where I had
soup and sandwiches and a cup of coffee. After that I crossed the moors.
So I'm walking, looking around for a campsite, and I think I found one just here. It's a wee bit, ground's a wee bit boggy, but it's flat, and just in this way here will be enough for sleeping. So tent is up, it's okay, and the view is nice. Water's boiling. That's the colour of peaty water that I got from the stream before, not this loch. Boil up nice. And what else? Well, I'll show you the tent where we are. It's not a great pitch, but it's a pitch. The road's over there. So this morning, no rain, but no wind. Absolutely still, and a million midges. There's so many midges that it's just impossible to manage to open the door even a little bit without thousands coming in, which they're already in here. So no breakfast. So, on the road, literally. Yeah, and if I stop, the midges come, so it's just a gentle march into Stornoway. And here's a nice little holiday cottage if you want to get away from it all.
The ferry over has a shower in it, which is a secret treat, worth having a shower there for free. Then Tesco's is available, a big supermarket in Ullapool.
Too cold for the midges this morning. There's the wee campsite, Midge City. I thought I'd get out here. It is cold, and put the kettle on, have a cup of coffee. It's a big day today. Postal track from Ullapool to Arkeltibui, and then up into the hills, the Koigach hills, and there's 3 unknowns before I get to Stack Polly. If I can get to Stack Polly, that's the postman's track, whether it's still in good use. Then there's a little bit of steep descending in the Koigach, and then there's a couple of lochs which join at a very narrow point, and there's a couple of narrow points, and I don't know whether they're passable or not. So those are the 3 questions, but they'll be answered today or tomorrow.
Walk will take me round the headland on the left and ending up at the end of the day at Stack Polly, which is that mountain in the background on the right.
So the path is well marked here so far. There's a wee cairn and sticks showing its way. So the path has got a wee bit serious and goes along here. If you did slip, you have plenty of chance to catch yourself, so I'm not too worried. But obviously the height does make one's nerves jangle a wee bit. However, the view certainly makes up for it. So the path ahead, I can't see where the path is, so it's probably the crux of the whole path is this bit along here. Looks a bit hairy, but it's only short, so keep my fingers crossed. So I was worried about it, but it's not too bad. The markers on the path, and the path is going down here, and it's not too steep, reasonably far away from the drop, and we've just come along there, which looks bad but wasn't really.
That was an amazing day. So the postman's path, I didn't know how exposed it would be. It wasn't too bad. The descent of the hill down the steep slope wasn't too bad, and coming across the stream wasn't too bad. So the whole day fitted together beautifully. And I'm parked now below Skye Poly, and I will climb that tomorrow.
After Skye Poly, you come down and cross over the River Poly, and then pass Inverpoly Lodge, and you end up here where you can see there's a little wall there which crosses the stream, and now you're on 2 miles of really wild track.
So last night I was getting towards 7 or 8, and I was traipsing through this wilderness. There was hardly a path and there was no wind. So I made the decision to put the tent up on this rise. It's not a great pitch, but it is in a beautiful location. Last night was windy. The tent was flapping and it woke me about 4:30. By 5:30 I felt like I'd get out. So I've had an early start. It's now about 8:30. I've done maybe 4 miles, 6-7 kilometers. Now I'm going on to the moor. It should take 3 or 4 hours till lunchtime. Away from the road, but a beautiful section of mountains here. So last night was one of the worst. Anyway, there was so many midges, more than ever. So it was a question of just jumping into the tent all damp.
that was fun. I think this is the way that I go up and